I've been wanting to do these kind of like athletics based videos for a while now, where I'm like focused on like my physical development as a person and my athleticism and playing basketball. Um, and part of the reason I want to do that is because like I feel like I can, some of the stuff that I talk about really goes into that. Like everything that I talk about has helped me in my life in a way that the things that I practically do in my life are like improving, right? Or at least for me. I mean, like everything that I'm doing is in my own way, like an improvement of myself, of my own life. But like you can take the same principles and like apply them to whatever it is that you want to do. But like the thing about me is that like most of my interests and my passions, like I've been following my highest excitement. That's what I've like been hearing a lot about, is following your highest excitement. And most of my excitement and passion comes from like things that are physical and creative. And I don't know why that is, but I'm not going to question it either, because I just feel like this is a path that I'm supposed to go down, right? So like everything about my existence and my experience in this world has always been physical and creative. That's always been like just for some reason who I am. From the time I was like a little kid, I used to skateboard. I used to like play basketball like I do now. I used to like to draw. I used to like to draw when I was really young, and then I got like over it. But like I'm still interested in drawing. And I've always liked music. I've always liked martial arts. And I've always been infatuated with meditation, even before like I knew anything about it, like anything about spirituality. Part of that is because like I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender a lot as a kid, and like that inspired me to be this kind of, I don't know, like I related with Aang a lot when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. So for some reason, like that was just like a part of my identity that I had developed, that I had like taken on. And it's funny because like I've gone so far down this path. Like I feel like I've been in this world for like ever, and not in like, it just seems like everything has been going on forever. Like I feel like very old already, even though I'm only like 24. But it's really funny because when I first started going through this journey of like discovering myself spiritually, when I first started doing that, it was a put on. Like the very first time that I decided that I was going to dedicate myself to a spiritual practice, it was like an egoic thing, because I had been infatuated with this stuff since I was a little kid, just because of like I said, Avatar: The Last Airbender and like Naruto kind of put these ideas in my head, which sounds kind of funny. But like I watched those two shows, and like the idea of energy flowing through your body, which is something that's in Naruto, and then like the idea of being like a spiritually connected person and meditating, which is what I gained from Avatar, and also just like the vibe. Like these are just two examples of things that happened to me in my past that like kind of helped shape me. Wait, where was I going with this? No, I lost my train of thought. Crap, dude. No, what was I saying? No! What was I gonna say? Oh man, I hate it when that happens. That happens to me all the time. Right. I was talking about how my first like departure down the path, quote unquote, even though like everybody is on it always, even if they don't even realize it, but like my first like into deliberate departure down the path was like an egoic effort. Like I heard this dude that I worked with, and he was talking about like these guys that he went and hung out with, and he was like, yeah man, these guys are really spiritual, like these guys are like really deep spiritual dudes. And we were out on the beach, like around a bonfire, banging on bongo drums and like smoking weed and whatever. And I was like, man, that sounds really cool. I wish that somebody would look at me and think that I am like that. You know what I mean? And it was just like in the beginning, it was a silly thing like that. It was stupid. like because I was going to like go down this whole like life-changing journey just to make people look at me differently, right? And like become a spiritual person so that other people could perceive me as that. And what I didn't realize was that I actually had like dug myself at that time. This was a few years ago, before my daughter was born, so like 3 years ago. I had like actually dug myself deeper into like my ego, because I was trying to seem and come off a certain way. And then I realized later on that that was like not the answer. Like, obviously, the answer is to just stop questioning yourself. You like, really, that's the conclusion that I've been coming to recently, is that I just need to stop questioning myself and stop questioning who I am. Because like, even your indecision, right? Like there's a certain like loop that you get caught in as a person, where like we want to be decisive because we want to know who we are. And so we think that part of like knowing who you are requires that you be decisive. Or at least this is my experience, and I hope that some of you relate to this. But like for me, part of my desire of like wanting to know who I really was and be my authentic self was my decisiveness. Like I felt like I had to be extremely decisive, because if I wasn't, then well, how could I say that I really knew who I was? But the thing is that like who you are is this dynamic, changing, flowing thing. That's what your real self is. And so like I had this realization where I realized that I just needed to stop questioning everything that I was doing. And that includes like my own questioning of myself, if that makes any sense. Like if I make a decision, and then like before, though, I would like make a decision, and then I would be like I would have a natural part of me that was like, well, is this decision really a good idea? And I would cut that part off. The part of me that questioned that decision, I would cut that off, because I would be like, no, that's indecisiveness and I can't be indecisive, right? And so that was a part of my personality, though. That back and forth is a part of my personality, and just like it's a part of most people's personalities. You have a back and forth in you where you kind of edge towards one thing, and then you're like, well, no, maybe I want this, or maybe I want to do this. And that's a natural part of the like process of your thoughts. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I used to hold myself to the standard where I was like, no, there is something wrong with that. I can't be indecisive. So my solution to this, to becoming Zen in the way that I thought at the time, my solution was to just do whatever came to mind. Like do the first thing. And that's not always that's not it. Like, because if you're only doing the first thing, then you're cutting off all of the other options that you might have like went into after thinking about doing the first thing. I know this is all like really abstract and like kind of tangled up the way I'm explaining it, but I hope it makes a little bit of sense, because it's a hard concept to it's a hard topic to talk about in words. But like, if you only do the first thing, then you're cutting off your ability to change your mind. You're cutting off your ability to like weigh different options, which is also a natural part of you, right? And so you have to kind of like learn, and it's difficult because you don't really know how to do it at first, but you have to learn how to like step back and just let yourself go. Stop questioning your indecisiveness, stop questioning everything about you, and just let yourself be. And that's really like, it's difficult, it's hard, because you don't really know what that feels like. Most people don't know what that feels like, to just, I just let myself go, and I'm not thinking about what other people are thinking about me. I'm not thinking about whether I'm making the right decision right now, because I know what the right decision is, right? And if I'm ready to make the right decision at any given moment, I'm going to make it, right? And so you have to have that trust in yourself, you know? And it's kind of like funny, because once you get to that point where you are actually like, whoa, I'm actually loose and I'm free, and I'm not like trapped by my own thoughts, and I'm not trapped by my own indecisiveness. Like once you get to that point, you're like, dude, everything that I'm going to do after I've let go is the same thing that I would have done if I hadn't let go. It's just that now I'm enjoying it a lot more. That's what I feel. like your morality. You have a sense of morality. Every person does, hopefully. Well, I know that there are a few. But your sense of morality kind of comes from like, wait, I got lost because in my head I'm like, dude, this was originally supposed to be a basketball video and I'm talking about stuff, like completely different stuff, but here we are. I'm gonna post this probably separately then. I'll probably post this as a different video. But every person has like a set of morals in their head, right? And the majority of us are thinking like very like diligently about whether we're following those morals. But that makes us rigid, and it doesn't allow us to be who we really are. Because if you really believe those morals, like you're going to follow them even if you don't hold a club over your own head. Like even if you don't chain yourself down to the morals, you're still going to follow them if they align with who you really are. And yeah, I mean, that's the realization that I've had, is that I don't need to like hold myself to a certain identity. I don't need to hold myself to like a certain, I don't know, like a standard, because like holding myself to a standard is just not, like if I'm capable of reaching that standard or being held to that standard, I will be there anyway. You see? Because that's like who I really am. That's who I am. And I think that people like get bogged down by this fight that we have with ourselves, where it's like we need to be this way and we're not always this way. So we like beat ourselves up, and that makes us tired, and that makes us frustrated. And then we get even farther from being there because we don't have the energy and the willpower to get back up to that standard that we're holding for ourselves. When in reality, you don't even really need to do that. You just need to like let go, man. And it's such a like, I hate saying that sometimes because I know that letting go is not just like something that you can just be like, oh, I'm going to let go now. Because again, you don't know what it feels like. But once you let go, like once you get there, so please don't like, I know that it seems confusing now if you're here and this is like, you don't know, if you're one of those people who's like, I don't know how to let go, I don't know how to free myself in the way that you're saying, just stick with it, dude. Don't stray. Don't like go away and give up on this, or do. I mean, either way, it's up to you. But once you do let go, you don't come back. Like you don't grab it again. It doesn't happen again because you're already like, wow. Even if things get difficult, it is much better to be this way. Even if things don't work out for me, it is much better to be this way than it is to like look at myself as some sort of, you're kind of like parenting yourself almost. You're being like a helicopter parent to your own actions and your own words. So you kind of have to think of yourself in that way. You have to think of yourself as if, you know, when you're handling yourself, think of yourself as if you were like a child under your care. And what that would be like. Like, would you, like the things that you say to yourself in your head, would you say those things to a kid? Would you say those things to a toddler who is just learning how to walk? Or would you say those things to, you know, your 8-year-old who's coming home frustrated because they don't understand their homework and their friends are being mean to them? Like, you have to remember, oh man, maybe that's like the inner child stuff. Am I like stumbling upon inner child things for like the first time in the middle of this video? I'm not sure. I don't know. It seems like I keep going long periods of time without making these videos because I'm like, well, like what else is there for me to talk about? Like what else can I cover? And I think like every time I think the well is dried up, I'm like, no, this goes deeper. No, this goes deeper. No, this goes deeper. It does. It always goes deeper. Like this is a never-ending path. Like I finally feel for the first time personally that I remember anyway, that like I'm completely just free because I'm not questioning anything that I'm saying. I'm not questioning anything that I'm doing. And even like any kind of back and forth that is a form of questioning is just there, and I'm not fighting it. If you're going back and forth It's the fighting of the going back and forth that's making you continue to be indecisive. That's what I kind of figured out from this whole thing. Like if you're like, say you're at a fork in the road and there's two paths for you to go down. Most people want to just pick one of the paths. You want to go one of those ways. And you get frustrated with yourself, or at least I do. I say this like in a talking to you kind of way, because this is like I'm really just relating my own experience to you. But you want to go down one of these paths and you're frustrated with yourself because you don't seem to be picking one. Like you want to go this way, but then you want to go this way. Then you get frustrated that you haven't picked one yet, so you try to stop this questioning, and for some reason when you try to stop it, it makes it worse. And so if you just let it go, like if you let the back and forth go, it sorts itself out. Practice this. See if you know what I mean. Maybe meditate on it. That would be good. Sit down, cross your legs, close your eyes. You don't really have to cross your legs. But, meditate on it. Think about it. Let me know what you guys think. If this makes sense to you. This always goes deeper. This road is never ending, man. It always goes somewhere new. There's always something new to discover about yourself. There's something new to discover about consciousness, something new to discover about your experience and the way that you exist in the world. There's always something new, and it's amazing. Like, it's just the most mind-blowing, beautiful, amazing thing ever is self-discovery. Because, like, self-discovery is also discovery of the ability to love others and to cooperate with others and to be calm and non-judgmental and at ease with others, man. And the more that you get to that like point, I mean, look at all the amazing things that we've accomplished already as a species, like human beings, what we've done to this world, and how much more we'd be capable of doing if people like were just more agreeable. And this is what we have to do to be more agreeable. This is what we have to do to have more cohesion, more connectedness, more unity. Like if human beings become a united species, my brain is going to what's that stuff, like the Armageddon stuff where apparently like the world goes under one government and whatever. I'm not saying that. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Like the stuff that like Armageddon based Christian people will like hand out in pamphlets where it's like, oh, the New World Order is going to make the world end and Satan is going to take over planet Earth and blah, blah, blah. Like, have you guys ever experienced somebody handing out those pamphlets or saying that kind of stuff? Anyway, but what I mean is the world is coming together. Like you're seeing this unity of people, and as we get closer, we become more interconnected. Yeah, sure, there are like negative things that are happening. There's a little bit of, I don't want to say it like that, not a little bit of war, because that's kind of like diminishing the gravity of the situation. But there is, from what I understand, we're at a pretty low point of war in the world compared to the past, which is a good sign. We're at a higher level of, or a lower level of poverty than we have been in the past, which is a great sign. Our life expectancy is longer than it has been in the past. That's a great sign. And I have seen hundreds of millions of people who are in this realm of the world that you and I are sharing, like we are sharing space in right now. There's millions of people in this realm that are coming together and starting to understand these things. Like it's like all of the wisdom that the ancient East had forever is like finally coming to like bless the planet. It's amazing. So I'm going to shut up now. I've been talking for like 20 minutes and I have gone in a million different directions. So I'm really sorry for like the haphazard nature of this video, but I had fun making it because I was just talking. I was just being myself, and I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you to feel comfortable doing that. Stop questioning yourself. Follow your heart. Follow your highest excitement. Follow your passion. Whatever calls to you in your heart, that's what you need to follow. That's why basketball videos are going to be coming out, athletic videos. I'm sorry if you guys don't like that, but that's my journey. That's where I'm at. That's what my heart is calling me out to do. So there's going to be videos like that. Much love to all of you. Go to there's a Discord server that I'm going to link in the description below. Please join that if you want to talk to me and other like-minded people. I try to be in there. I'm trying to be in there more often because I'm not in there enough. But we have some really great people. We do calls sometimes. We can talk. It's going to be great. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.